Let's switch to domestic policy. The Obamacare numbers announced yesterday were soft. They're getting softer by the moment. Is anyone fooled, Senator?
I'm not fooled for two reasons. First of all, just looking at the numbers in and of themselves, they got 7 million people to log on a website, put their name and address. We don't know how many of them have completed the application, and we don't know how many of them have paid. Some estimates are that, less than 20% have, or about 20% have not even paid. But let's go beyond that for a moment. The purpose of Obamacare was not to sign up 7 million people to an exchange. The purpose of Obamacare, we were told, was to lower significantly the number of people in this country who were uninsured, which a couple of years ago was estimated at around 38 million U.S. citizens had no health insurance coverage. Well, if you look at what's happening now, the vast majority of people signing up for these exchanges were already previously insured. So some estimates are that between 15, 20%, 25% maybe, let's give the benefit of the doubt, are people that weren't insured before that now are. So that means you've basically diminished the number of uninsured by between 2, 3, 4 million. And so you still have a huge, enormous problem of over 30 million people who remain uninsured, but you've now disrupted the entire healthcare marketplace for everybody. Everybody, from providers to patients, have been inconvenienced and in some instances completely disrupted in exchange for this, for lowering the uninsured rate by 2 or 3 million people. That's just not a good trade-off.
And terrible trade-off.
It's a terrible trade-off.
When Obamacare launched, you actually were the first person to tell me that the Spanish language site was cracked. Have they fixed that? And what are they saying about Obamacare in the Spanish media? I don't speak the language you do.
Well, unfortunately, and I think there was a report about this a couple of days ago, Brent Bozell's new group that's calling attention to this. Both of the major Spanish language networks, but Univision in particular, have basically become all-out advocates for Obamacare, trying to get people signed up. If ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, anybody were doing that, there would just be extraordinary amount of criticism. You now have these. Look, I think they have the right to do it. It's a free country. It's a privately held company. They can do whatever they want. But I think it's important to recognize that that's what's happening, and that's unfortunate because here's what I think is true. I don't think people are being told what these plans actually are all about. I think people are going to be shocked when they sign up for this insurance and then they realize that before they can even begin to use it, they've got to come up with thousands of dollars for their deductibles first. And that's when people are going to figure out what a fraud Obamacare really is.
You mentioned these networks. In Jonathan Alter's book on the 2012 campaign, he pointed out that President Obama outspent Governor Romney on Spanish-language media 12-1. If you're a candidate for the president, will you allow that to happen?
Yeah, I don't think we should. Look, there's a lot of people out there that get, and I think that's true for no matter any office we're running. And I do encourage more of my colleagues to go on Spanish language networks, even if they don't speak Spanish, and communicate, because I think people need to hear directly from us what it is we really stand for and what it is we're all about. And as I've said, the Hispanic Americans are primarily working class communities who are trying to get ahead. And those are the people that have been hurt the most. Working class has been hurt the most when it comes to the failed policies of this administration. So not just campaign commercials, but I think appearing on shows, making our argument, making our case for why what we're for is better for our country and for people than what they're for is something we need to do year-round, consistently over a sustained period of time.